Hey everybody, this is Mike Walsh. I'm a personal trainer.
And I'm Caleb Hood, a martial arts instructor.
And you're listening to and watching another episode of Modern Era Fitness.
Yeah.
Where we talk about health and safety in today's age. So today we're on Twitcher live.
Twitch. Twitch.tv/Modern Era Fitness.
So you can watch us there and see the nuts and bolts.
Yep. And it's an opportunity for you guys as listeners and gals to get in on the discussion. There's a live chat that we can see. Even if the video's lagging behind, we'll see the chat. So if you have any questions for us, we can get to them live maybe, or any comments, which is pretty neat. And just trying something out, you know?
Yeah.
Trying to keep it fresh for all y'all. So we may do this on the reg. So let this be a heads up for next time, too. Mike.
Boom.
Mike.
Yes.
Mike.
So,
Mike, how's it going?
Really well. It's been a fun week. A sprint. My weeks are just sprints.
Like in a good way, though, right?
Yeah. Like there's a lot going on, and it's like, you know, good work, and then good quality family time, and then every weekend you and I record, so it's really a nice break and a good chance to catch up and talk about good things.
Guy time. Bro time. So, speaking of guy time, you've been doing a little mastermind group with a friend of ours, a friend of the podcast, Eddie.
Oh, yeah, that's hush hush.
So I'm going to edit that out. Why is that hush? I just wanted to know how it's going.
Oh, it's going well.
Okay. You don't have to tell us the secret things you talk about.
Oh, we talk about you.
I'm sure.
Okay,
I don't doubt that.
Okay, we could talk about it. This is kind of fun.
Okay.
No, it's going well, and
what's the idea of the group? Is it just
the idea of a mastermind group? For those of you that have read How to Think and Grow Rich by Dale Carnegie, I think it's Dale Carnegie. Might be wrong. Let me know.
Yeah.
He talks about mastermind groups, and they've been around for a very long time. And basically, it's a small group of between about 3 to 7 people. We only have 2 right now because Caleb.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. Caleb doesn't want to be a part of it. He's too cool.
That's not
too
quite,
cool for that.
That's not quite the reason.
Caleb's really busy.
Yeah, that's the reason.
Extremely busy. So it's just the one thing that he can't fit into his schedule, and rightly so. And it's just not at a good time for him. So Eddie and I meet, and we really just talk about business. We take time and talk about his business. He's a realist. What's it called?
A realtor? Real estate agent?
Yeah.
Which are 2 different things. You can be a real estate agent and not be a realtor. A realtor is a little more specialized. They take extra class and part of some higher order.
Huh.
So.
Oh. Yeah. So we talk about his business, and then we talk about my business, and we have kind of a game plan that we talk about. And essentially we just try to help each other out with ideas or new perspectives or different perspectives, and hold each other accountable to a game plan. And we meet right now every week, but it's probably going to slow down to once a month. And it's been really beneficial.
That's cool, man. Do you recommend it? Or is it kind of like...
For business owners?
Yeah. Like, what am I trying to ask? Do you recommend it? That's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
And not
I guess it's not that complicated of a question.
It's not just me either. I mean, there's so many mastermind groups out there, and all it takes is 1, 2, or 3 kind of like-minded individuals that run small businesses or do their thing, and for them to be somewhat on the same level.
Yeah.
So if I was in a mastermind group with Bill Gates, it would be extremely.
He's operating at a different
delta
capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just wouldn't work.
Where 2 or more are gathered, they're the mastermind.
There, Bill Gates will be also. So, yeah, Eddie and I are kind of on the same level as far as business goes, and we're kind of in the same place. So we're helping each other out.
Cool.
Here in Salem, Oregon.
That's awesome.
How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. Did my sigh clue you in? This chair is terribly...
It's so short, and it's fun to do this. Just kind of look at you and be like...
Look down on me.
Uh-huh.
Hey, son. Oh my gosh. The pat on the back. That's so belittling.
I was going to tussle your hair, but
Yeah.
it looks pretty neat, and you have headphones on.
Noogie for the sun. But since you asked, my week has been good. It really has been a sprint. I feel like there's a lot more going on with the podcast, with Modern Era Fitness, and the school and everything that's going on around here. Because we're picking up new listeners, and it's keeping me busy.
Yeah.
But I'm happy. I'm happy with it.
Good.
Yeah. Kelly and I got a nice long ride in last weekend after recording the podcast with you and Eddie. We went out to, what's that place called? The Willamette Mission, where the ferry is, the Wheatland Ferry.
Uh-huh.
We rode out there, and then we went across the ferry and then back up through West Salem and home. And it was about 33 miles. And it was a beautiful, beautiful day. I'm glad we did it, but it was work. It was a lot of work. The hills in West Salem are not fun, in my opinion. And we were testing out having gear, like camping gear, in case we want to do like a touring trip.
Uh-huh.
And that made it that much worse. That's enough of that.
Okay. So we are on part 2 of a 3-part series this week, talking about tough love. Last week, I talked about tough love and what your personal trainer wants to tell you. So there's just 6 simple points, and they're all actionable. There's information that you can use today, right now. But this week, Caleb's talking about martial arts and what your martial arts instructor would want you to know. And Caleb's going to shoot it straight. And then next week, we're going to have our last session about life, tough love on life. And it's going to cut real deep.
Yeah, and there's a lot of crossover between his points and my points, probably on some levels. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to go back and listen to his, because even if mine don't touch on it, you could apply everything that he talks about on mine and vice versa. So keep that in mind, and you'll want to stick around for the full series. So tough love.
Tough love. This is what it's about. Got to furl your brow.
Yeah. All right. So tough love. From a martial arts instructor to people that are either thinking about it or in it or whatever. Point number 1 is, once you make the decision to get into martial arts, stick with it. Too many times people give me a call because they're really excited about martial arts and they think it's cool. Maybe they watched a movie or something, they get excited about it, and they ask me all sorts of questions about how to start. They might even come in and try it once or twice, and then because the movie is kind of old news to them now, we're just watching the live stream, and it's funny.
Yeah.
Make sure you tune in next time we do a live stream. It's kind of fun. But too many times people will come in and try it, but because the movie or whatever it is that sparked that excitement is kind of is now starting to fade, their dedication fades, and that's a very dangerous thing. Once you set that goal, like Mike said in his episode, once you set that goal, don't change it. Keep going with that goal. Basically, the next point is what makes the difference whether or not you achieve that goal, and that's making sure you show up. Show up, no matter if you're feeling bad, feeling great. I guarantee you, even if you're feeling bad, at the end of the class, you're going to feel glad and happy that you went, and you're going to, you learned stuff. Even if you're going in it thinking like, oh, I'm just so exhausted, I'm tired, it's been a long day, I don't think I can focus. These classes, just the nature of the activity itself it will bring you into it and spend some time on it. It's not one of those things where you can go haphazardly and just whenever you feel like it, because if you do that, your progress is going to reflect that. Your progress is going to be slow, if it even happens at all. If you're going once a week or once every other week, or just real kind of shotgun style. It's just, you're not doing yourself any favor. You're not going to progress. Just like with Mike's. What was the point that you said? That
Pick one goal or one direction and go for it.
Yeah, but there was another one that kind of tied into what I'm trying to say. I can't think of what it was, but anyway, I think the point itself is clear. Show up. Point 1 was make the decision and stick with it. Point 2 is remember that you made that decision. Stick with it. Show up. Actually show up and do the work. Which kind of bleeds into the third point. I'm just cruising right through these. I hope you're cool with it.
Very good.
Doing the work. Do the work. When you show up, okay? You've made your decision. You show up. You want to learn something. You want to improve. Do the work. If you don't do the work, you're not going to improve. And that means, like what Mike said in his previous one, I swear I'm not just copying, but fail early and fail often. The way I would interpret that for my side of things is don't be afraid of failure. Don't be afraid of working hard and being exhausted and doing things wrong. I feel like a lot of times, we've talked about this in previous episodes, about how people frame failure in the United States and in the 21st century, that failure is this thing to be, it's been demonized, so to speak. And it really needs to be something that's used as another tool to achieve your goal. Because you found out a wrong way to do something. That means there's one less wrong way to do it. And so you find the right way to do it. This is just kind of furthering that goal. Does that make sense so far?
Yes.
Do you have any questions or any input on that?
No, I don't.
You're the perfect podcast co-host.
What is your favorite color?
I knew you were going to ask that. I knew it.
Is it red?
And don't call me Shirley.
Mine's green.
Because I wouldn't be cruising through these so fast if you actually
Sorry.
add some spin on it. No, I try to give you a little bit in yours, and I feel like you're just take.
What else you got?
Well, just give me something good, and I'll...
Basically, it sounds like the first 3 points are have a goal, show up, and work hard.
Yep.
Work hard when you're there.
That's really the gist of it. And the working hard, to clarify, it's not just when you're in class, like the working hard. Martial arts is something, and general fitness is something that you have to practice around the clock. Kung Fu really just means hard work or skill gained through discipline. And so you can technically apply your martial arts training to every aspect of your life. You know, like nutrition. You're going to gain benefit if you're diligent about working on your nutrition. You know what I mean?
I do.
You sure?
Be diligent about what you're doing. Don't just, whole ass it when you're in class. But
exactly, yeah. It needs to be a lifestyle thing. It can't just be, I show up once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. If you're showing up and class time is the only time that you're practicing, you don't internalize it the same way as if you were to practice it outside of class. And that doesn't just mean the physical aspects, but the mental aspects too. Another thing about doing the work is some people are naturally gifted at physical activity and some are not. Which one are you?
The not.
Oh, the super gifted. And, martial arts is fantastic because people of all ages and all abilities can do it and gain from it. And so you get people that might feel weaker or achier, older, younger. And it's kind of I don't want to say it's a level playing field, but in the terms of gaining from martial arts, everybody can, And so what I would say to people that don't feel like they're particularly coordinated or skilled in martial arts, I'm going to have to minimize this because you're getting too distracted.
Boom. Look at that.
Okay. Now it's just a boring recording
now
program.
It's just gone.
Yeah. It's like I have to separate you from your friend in class.
Gotta take away my cell phone.
Yeah. If you feel like you're not particularly coordinated or athletic or whatever, work harder. that nobody got better by, as Mike says, half-assing. And what was your last point? You had a point in there about that.
Half-assing?
About don't expect to get...
Don't get upset when you don't get the results from the work you didn't do.
From the work you didn't do. That's it. And for the people that are a little more physically adept, we'll say, still do the work inside and outside of class, because even though you might be picking up on a self-defense trick or sparring or some sort of skill that we teach, just because you pick up on that easily doesn't mean you can't improve. There's always, Master Splinter says, there's always going to be somebody better, stronger, faster, better at martial arts than you. And so you always want to train as if you're going to try to beat that next foot soldier. Right? That's relevant, right?
Yeah.
Trivia, little random trivia fact for you. I hope I get this right. Anyway, somebody in our branch of the martial arts, and even some not from our branch, but also Kajukenbo, were foot soldiers, and I think TNMT 2.
No way.
Yeah.
The good one.
Yeah. So...
That was my favorite movie for like 30 years.
How old are you?
31.
Okay. Pizza Dude's got 30 seconds. Let's see what else. Do the work inside and out, no matter if you're good, no matter if you're crummy at physical stuff. The main thing you want to focus on is improving. Don't. I had a conversation with one of my students this morning about comparing yourself to other martial artists, and they're at this rank and I feel like I don't look like them or perform like them, and that is cancerous thought. It's really poisoning your supply if you start comparing yourself to other people. I think it's healthy to have somebody to aspire to. Like if there's a role model out there that you think performs really well and you want to work towards that, that is good and healthy. But when you start comparing yourself to the person next to you, that is terrible. You're just going to end up beating yourself down and just getting in this negative self-talk kind of cycle. Because when you're comparing against other people beside you, and you're both working, they're going to progress, and it's just going to be, they're always going to look that way to you. But if you have this goal, you're always getting closer to that goal. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Get it?
So have a...
Bing, ding, ding, ding.
I get it.
Yeah.
I got it.
So what were you going to say? So
having a goal versus comparing yourself to somebody right next to you, that's kind of the subjective versus objective, don't you think? So if I'm comparing myself to Caleb, and I'm just starting with Kajukenbo, and Caleb's a second-degree black belt, then essentially my goal of being like Caleb, he's not stagnant, he's moving, and that's just a bad place to be. Is that what you mean? Well, what if I aspired to be like you?
Yeah, see, it's really in the semantics of it, because role models are positive, comparing yourself like aspect to aspect is not. One has a positive effect of pulling you along, helping you along, and the other one has this tendency to pull you down.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah.
And so we want to have that forward-thinking goal. We want to pick someone and try to be like them. Don't compare yourself as you are to them. I think I've said that every way I can think of saying that, at least for now.
I think we got it.
Okay. I wonder if we're still streaming. I want to see us. Hey.
There we are. Hi.
Hi, us. Another point. Okay, so that's still 3 points. I've got a couple more.
Okay.
Why don't we take a break first? And we'll come back.
Okay.
And do the other 2. So what's important to you? Family, health, personal safety? If you care about any of those things, check out hoodsmaa.com and find out what we offer. At Hoods MAA, we want you to be healthy and be safe.
Hey everybody, this is Mike at Northwest Forge. Don't have time to go to the gym? Want your personal trainer to come to you? Northwest Forge now offers online training. Check us out at northwestforge.org. Stay motivated.
Are you a fan of the paranormal, UFOs, conspiracies, or cryptids? Do you like being entertained? Then I recommend the 45th Parallel Podcast. You can find it on iTunes, your Android podcast app of choice, or Stitcher Radio. Just type in the 45th Parallel and start listening. Make sure to subscribe and rate our show so we can climb the charts and get our paranormal message out there. We hope to see you in the 45th Parallel.
And we're back.
Hi, everyone.
So today, I, Mike,
and me, Caleb,
we're talking about tough love.
Tough love this time. Last week was from a personal trainer. This week is from a martial arts instructor.
Yes.
Things we want you to know if you intend to get into martial arts or if you're in martial arts. And you can apply it to the rest of your life. I'm not going to say you can't. And so far, recap. First 3 points that we covered. Make the decision and stick with it. Don't kind of waffle back and forth. Oh, I'm excited about it. Oh, I don't feel super enthusiastic about it today. Make the decision to do it. The next tip, show up. You've made the decision. Now do it. Do it, do it, do it. Is there a song? Is that a song? Do it, do it, do it.
I like to move it, move it.
I don't think that's the one I'm thinking of.
Oh.
And third, these all fall very tightly together. The third one is do the work. Inside, outside of class, whether you're fit as a fiddle and exercise and physical things come easily, or if you're like me and you're achy and you're just
short.
It doesn't matter. Do the work, because no matter what level you're at, you're going for improvement. That's the thing you need to remember. And I just realized I only have one more point to recap and one more point to talk about. Hope that's okay. That last point that we talked about before we went to the break is... Oh, no, I didn't talk about this.
Well, let's talk about it.
Oh, the other thing I mentioned is don't compare yourself to other people. Find someone you want to aspire to be, because that gets you pulled upward as opposed to pulled sideways or down. Okay. Next point. Never mind the plateaus. Don't worry about plateaus. Plateaus happen in martial arts training. Do they happen?
They sure do.
Okay. That's good to know that we're not the only thing that happens in. Plateaus, the way I describe them, are plateaus. All right. Next point. No, but basically it's this point that every martial artist gets to when they're ranking, where they feel like they're not making any progress. They don't have any of those light bulb moments that we all love and you've come to expect. And a lot of that has to do because of that steep learning curve that Mike's talked about in the past, where when you start something new, the amount of information that you're learning and packing away is high. But once you get comfortable with kind of in our case, the art, and you learn kind of some of the main principles, you feel like you're not really learning anything new. Even if you're working on your forms and self-defense tricks and sparring and stuff like that, you don't feel like your skill is improving or your mental knowledge is improving. But if you just stick it out, every plateau has an end. And our goal is to not go down off the plateau, but climb that next peak, if that makes sense. Because if you get frustrated by that plateau, you're just going to go down the other side of the plateau. You're no longer making progress. So our goal is to fight through those, accept that they're going to happen, be cool with it, and just keep doing the work. Like I said before, you've made that goal, stick with it, do the work inside and outside, and you're going to find that every plateau eventually has an end, and you're going to see progress again. And once you get to a certain point in your training, it's going to feel like nothing is quite as steep as it was when you first got going. And that's okay. Again, referencing back earlier, the main thing is progress. You're always wanting to improve. So as long as you're making improvement, you're climbing up a mountain, you're reaching goals. That's what's important. Speaking to some of the more experienced martial artists out there that maybe have trained for a while and already received a black belt, if you haven't tried teaching, if that's not a component of your training to get a black belt, start asking if you can take on some of that responsibility of teaching, because teaching has it's another one of those steep learning curves. It forces you to understand intimately what you thought you already knew really well, because you're going to get newer people asking you questions that maybe you've never thought of. And so you have to do your research to find these answers. And it has a way of adding depth to what you've already been training for the last several years. It has a way of enriching the art. You may find yourself getting bored with art, and teaching is a way to kind of reinvigorate that, because it's always bringing up something new, maybe just from your perspective you never thought of. So I highly encourage that. Share it with somebody and take the questions as they come. Don't try to act like a know-it-all and answer without thinking. Be okay with saying, I don't know, but I'll get you the answer. You're not doing your martial art any service if you try to just BS your way through answers. So make sure that you're not misleading people too. Sorry, that was a little side note. Last point I have, unless you have anything you need to say or ask.
I did, but that was like forever ago.
Raise your hand or something, and I'll see you in the feed.
Okay. Our feed is like 10 minutes behind.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
It's funny and distracting.
Yeah. The last one I got. Respect everybody, no matter the rank, no matter the ability, no matter if they're an instructor or they just walked in for their very first class. Respect everyone. And I'm not just talking about base level respect. I mean, show the highest amount of respect to everybody. You don't know the situation that they're in. You don't know their level of knowledge. Somebody could come in with a black belt, with a white belt and have black belts in other arts, and you have no clue. And it does you no service. It does you no service to look down on that white belt, because you could have some life lessons that you need to learn from that person, martial arts or otherwise. Let's see. I'll wait to see if you have a question.
Okay, it's 12:57.
Okay. Going. I feel like you're going to raise your hand soon.
I don't.
Don't forget the question, whatever it is. Or at least a minute behind. The good thing about the people that listen to this podcast via the traditional route is all the 10 minutes of silence. Mike, you have a question.
Yes.
Up in front.
It's not a question. It's more of something I want to say.
Okay.
Everybody knows something that you don't know. And so the potential to learn from anybody is there.
Absolutely.
So once you write somebody off as a white belt, then congratulations, you played yourself.
Yeah. You will not learn something that you could have learned and may need. And
they might not have any other black belts in anything.
Yeah.
But who knows? They might be a Golden Gloves boxer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point. It doesn't have to be martial arts.
Yeah.
Traditional martial arts with belts and things like that. And there's a lot of times there's a real problem with ageism in martial arts, and ageism is just a funny way of saying you look down on a particular generation, because you think, oh, they're millennials, or oh, they're old and they drive slow, or that kind of thing. Don't get caught up on that, because I find myself learning from the kids that I teach, as well as some of the grander aged folks in my class. Sometimes martial arts, sometimes life. There's wisdom coming at you from every which way. So don't shoot yourself in the foot by having some sort of prejudice,
Notion.
Yeah. That's what I have to say. I just respect everyone. Real quick, I'll recap. Okay. 1, make the decision, stick with it. Okay? You decided to do martial arts, so do martial arts. 2, show up to do the martial arts. You're not going to get better if you're not showing up and doing the work, which is number 3, do the work. It takes more than just showing up and going through the motions, but you actually have to work hard. Okay? You have to work hard in class and outside of class. Be thinking about martial arts. In fitness, you have to think about your health around the clock. It's because you didn't before that you're in bad shape now. So if you want to make a lifestyle change, you have to think about it in the lifestyle way, from the time you get up to the time you fall asleep. And sometimes you even have to think about how you're sleeping. It's the same way with martial arts. It's got to be in your brain all the time, okay? And I don't want that to intimidate anybody. It takes a dedication. I don't know how else to say it. Like,
it takes a switch. You gotta flip a switch somewhere.
It's like when you're learning a new language, and then you start to casually start to think in that language, or you start to dream in that language. That's what you want to happen with your martial arts, or your the way you think about eating and exercising. You want that to frame what you do in life and how you respond to people and make decisions in the route you take to work and things like that. It should color everything you do. If that's your goal, make it your goal, make it your life, and you will succeed. Forget about the plateaus. Don't worry about them. They happen. They're real, but they're temporary, even if they don't feel that way. Stick with it. Do the work. You'll start finding more rates of improvement. Up, and up. And respect everybody, whether you think they know anything or not. Okay? Even if it's somebody that really doesn't, I've never met anybody like this, but if it's somebody that really doesn't know anything about anything, you still want to show them respect, because what does it say about you if you don't?
It shows that you don't respect them.
You've been listening. Oh, that's good. It shows that you're a terrible person, really. I mean, it's comes down to a humanity thing. And I feel like a lot of people, they have to learn that through martial arts, how to respect people, how to show people respect, or the military. You know, they're very big on making sure you use titles and ma'am and sir and all that kind of stuff. And it's about showing respect. I mean, I'm sure there are other reasons that people use it, but for me, I want people, if they're wearing a Hoods MAA t-shirt and they're out on the street, I want that person to be a good representation of the school and the rest of the people that train here. So it's not just me that looks bad if somebody's rude and wearing a t-shirt of ours, but it tells them, like, I don't want to train with those people because those people are lame or mean, you know?
So don't wear a Hoods Martial Arts Academy t-shirt with your hard belt on and go to the bar and just look for a fight.
Oh, well, you know, I don't know. You got to test yourself sometime.
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, just don't wear your t-shirt if you're planning on going and like pushing an old lady over.
That way they know. That way they don't know to look out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's golden
terrible
tidbit of knowledge there.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what I got, man.
Right on.
Yeah. Do you have any nerd alerts this week?
Man.
Kind of hit you pretty hard last week.
Yeah, you did. I don't. I do have a little housekeeping though.
No housekeeping. Hang on. Give me a chance to think of a nerd alert. Nerd alert. Okay, you may have seen me post this on my Facebook, but Google AI, not the DeepMind project, but the side project.
Yeah.
Called Google Brain, I think it is, which is a that name is worse than DeepMind in my opinion. Like, it kind of Google Brain.
Delete your Google browsing history immedately.
Yeah.
Don't use Chrome.
If you have a Google phone, throw it out your window right now. Sorry, Eddie, I know you just got it. But anyway, their side project, Google Brain, is this artificial intelligence study. And they basically got a few computers to talk to each other. And one computer, they tasked it with sending a message to... they tasked A computer to talk to B computer without letting C computer know what the message is. And so through algorithms and trial and error and things that computers do way faster than humans, it figured out how to encrypt the message without the other supercomputer being able to decrypt it. So now we have two computers talking to each other in a way that we can't
And
figure
we don't know
out.
what they're
We don't know
saying.
what they're saying. Yeah. So it's nice knowing you folks. I'm glad you joined us on Twitch for the first time. You can see our faces right before the end.
I bet I know what they're saying.
What do you think they're saying?
What's up with these stupid white lab coats? There's no point.
Oh, boy. So, thanks a lot, Google.
So, say hello, Skynet.
Yeah. Elon Musk, it's up to you. We're looking to you, bro.
You're our Sarah Connor.
Yeah. Oh, another nerd alert. Did you see he unveiled his new solar panel roofing tiles?
No.
Yeah, so I thought it was just going to be a solid, what we think of for solar panels. But instead, it's just like the shingle roof.
Oh, dip.
And you can get them in different styles. Like they
that's
look
cute.
different.
Oh.
And that looks really cool. And because of the savings in electricity and stuff, you end up paying less for it than you would for having a traditional roof re-roofed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, folks.
And they upgraded their battery storage system too, so it can store excess energy more efficiently than it did before, which is the main problem for renewable energy right now is there's no way to store excess and use it when we need it.
Oh, there is.
Like the nighttime. Are you talking about the water batteries?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
No, my parents, one of their good friends lives outside of Bend somewhere, and they're completely off the grid, and it's just solar in Oregon. So,
and okay,
but yeah, they have a shed that's just full of batteries, and those batteries get charged up during the day, and they get used at night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the issue is degradation over time, like
all batteries.
Like if they don't use it right away, it doesn't pack as much energy, and they slowly kind of dwindle on life and store less over time.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So that's kind of some of the big hiccups that we're trying to work through, hurdles. So anyway, there's your nerd alert. Hope you enjoyed it.
That's a good one.
AI and solar roofs.
So,
oh yeah, you wanted housekeeping. Ugh.
that's a terrible way to put it. We're about halfway through our 30-day challenge at Northwest Forge for just having a protein power smoothie per day, and there's a few other things that go along with that. It's just a fun challenge that I kind of put together for people that want to take part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to take part of it, you can go to northwestforge.org/30-day challenge, all one word, and check it out. It's free.
Cool. I'm signed up.
You are. I saw that. So that's it.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again for tuning in, as Mike says sometimes, to this podcast. We appreciate you guys listening. And to get our message out, it helps us if you review us, iTunes and Stitcher and all that stuff. Their currency is reviews, and the fresher reviews you get, the more eyes the show is put in front of. So
the more eyes they see. So you can support us in a number of ways. One is a review. 2 is share it with somebody that you might think would enjoy this. And 3 is visit us at modernerafitness.com or visit our Patreon page. Link is on our website.
Yeah.
So we appreciate it a lot.
Yeah. And if you have a question for us, you can hit us up at modernerafitnesspodcast@gmail.com, social media at MEF Podcast, all the usual stuff. And all of our social media and all the platforms that we're available on just about are down at the bottom of our webpage, modernerafitness.com. So we want to make it easy and accessible to everyone. And so if you just go to modernerafitness.com, scroll down to the bottom of the page, there's links to everything. Our Google page, our Facebook page, our iTunes page, our Stitcher page, Google Music Play, all that stuff. So
boom.
There it is. So Mike, why don't you take us out with our wisdom?
Remember, folks, live in a good place, keep your mind deep, and work when it's time.
Bing, ding, ding, ding.
Peace. So like Bruce Lee said, a larger muscle is a better muscle.
That's what she said?